This is Ian from EasyGenie. Today I'm going to show you how to use the 1870 Federal Census Household Tracker. It's a fillable PDF. It's free and available for download on EasyGenie.org. This is how you use this particular tracker. We're looking at a sample PDF with data already filled in. I'm going to explain the basics of entering data, plus give you a couple other tips to get the most out of this particular form. So the first thing that you should know is the reason for having a form like this is because the original census documents, which you can download off of Family Search, that's where I usually get them. Sometimes they're hard to read. They're using cursive, which I can read, but some of my younger relatives or other relatives may not be able to understand it. Sometimes the handwriting is inconsistent. Sometimes the data on them, you can see this. It's because they didn't have enough space. They made the text running kind of at a 90-degree angle, so you have to constantly kind of tilt it to the right to read it and then tilt it back. And then the other thing that I've discovered with them is sometimes there's incorrect information on them, such as column 18 in this particular case. Whoever filled out this census form, they identified anybody who couldn't read or write as being disabled, mentally disabled. So this is just plain wrong. That's not the data that you want to keep. And also maybe you also want to have some context that you add to this document. Whether you keep it in your files or whether you print it out and give it to other people, or you're just saving a PDF for some other reason. So let's get to it. And the first thing that you need to do to start to use this form is to actually download it from the EasyGenie.org website. And basically you do that by going to EasyGenie.org and then clicking on the PDF downloads. This form is usually at the bottom of the page along with the other free forms that we offer. So once you've downloaded it, you will get a copy of the PDF and download it to your hard drive on your PC or on your Mac. We do not recommend using this particular PDF on mobile devices. The reason is because storing and copying the files is a pain in the neck, even with something like an iPad or a tablet. So download this to a PC or Mac, and then you can make as many copies of the document as you like, for instance, for different branches of the family. So once I have this particular document, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly make a copy of that. You can do this in a PC by doing Control-C and then Control-V. In a Mac, it's doing Command-C and then Command-V. And so you can see the copy right there. And maybe what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give it a name. So Huntsville family, okay? And then I'm going to open it. It's important that you open this not in the default program on your PC or Mac, but in Adobe Acrobat Reader. This is a free software program. This particular PDF that EasyGenie designed, it is only designed to work in Adobe Acrobat Reader. While you may be able to open this up in other programs, such as a web browser, or on a Mac you can use the program called Preview, the text may not line up properly and there may be other problems with the document. So open and save this particular document in Adobe Acrobat Reader. This is a free PDF reader. Everybody uses it. You need to download it off the internet if it's not already installed, but just make sure you open it using that particular program. Once you have the document open, and this is the one that you can see I gave it a new name, Huntsville Family. So I'm going to give my name first. So I'm going to type my name. And then to go to the next field, just press the tab button, or you can use your mouse. So reference, what I usually do is I'll give the name of either the family that I'm working on or maybe the research that I'm looking at. Or so I might say the Huntsville, Williams, and Shields family. And then I'll give the date, October 2023. Okay? For the household surname, I just press tab to go to the field. Type in the name of the main household you're researching. So like even if you're looking at the a certain surname like Shields, identify which family it is. So I'm looking at Thomas Shields family circa 1870 in Huntsville. Okay? Related families. So this is an opportunity for somebody who looks at this document later on. It could be you, or it could be, your children or a cousin or someone like that, to kind of understand where the Thomas Shields family fits into the whole tree. So you could say something like possible Williams connection. Okay? Or you could put any other data that you want in there. You could say also grandfather of Violet McWilliams, something like that. Research notes. So here is an example where you could give additional data that relates to this particular census. The other thing you can do is you can copy and paste it from other documents or programs you have. So for instance, I have some text and maybe it's relevant to this particular family. So what I can do is I can copy it from the other program and then I can paste it in. So if you're using a Windows machine, you would copy using Control-C and then Control-V to paste, or you can just right-click over it and select Paste if you've already copied it. Okay, so I've just copied some text in here just to save a little bit of time. Enumeration date. So go to the original document, and at the very top, you can see enumerated by me on the 19th of August, 1870. So put that in. So 8/19/1870, or you could spell it out. District and page number, again, go to the document. So that is in Huntsville, Ward 4. Okay, so Huntsville, Alabama, Ward 4. Tab it, house number and details. This information may not be clear. You know, in the 1870 census, they didn't have to give the street name. They just gave the houses in the order that they were completed by the enumerator. But you can use this number, and that's maybe just as a reference for yourself later on. So I'm going to say 102, but no house, no street name given. And actually, I just realized I left out an important piece of information. District and page number. So you, for the district and page number, the page number is here. Page number 17. Page 17. Okay. For the value of the house, there is a column in the 1870 census that gives the value of the house. And you can see it's $200. So I'm going to type that in. If there's no information, and you can see that's there's actually nobody else in this particular page that has value of the house given, so you can leave that blank. And so then what you start doing is you start typing in the information or pasting it in. So maybe what I'm going to do actually is go to the Family Search website where I downloaded this document, and they actually have some information that might be on there. So for instance, I can see Thomas Shields. So I'm just going to copy that over. And just verify some. I'm going to verify something else. It looks like they spelled Shields with an E first and then an I. Is that the correct way? But anyways, that's something for you to determine. So Thomas, go to the age. So on this document, he's age 30. And then birth year, subtract age from 1870. So you just take 1870 minus 30, and that's 1840. And this is not an exact birth year. We recognize that sometimes, even though this was done in August of 1870, depending on when the person was born, it actually might be, give or take a year. And then birthplace, that information is given in column 10, and that's Alabama. Sometimes I've seen that they give more details about that, but in this case, it's just Alabama. And then I would go through and start copying everybody else. And again, this information is already kind of included in the Family Search transcription. And then just go through and start entering that information. So as you go through, you'll enter more and more information. And then the other thing that I added to this particular fillable PDF, at the very bottom, there's additional details. And what you can do here is, because there's only so much room available up here, you can put in additional information about the person. So I can say for, number 1, Thomas. And the reason for doing this, by the way, is because there's actually 2 Thomas Shields in this family. There's the baby Thomas, who's age 1, and then there's Daddy Thomas, who's age 30. And he's number 1 in this particular list, so I put him there. He's the head of household. Occupation, he's a brick mason. Foreign-born parents, no. That, by the way, is a column on this particular chart. It says father of foreign birth, mother of foreign birth. So there's nothing there, so no. Education and literacy. So this particular census, the census enumerator did ask questions about that. So it says cannot read, cannot write, and then it would check it off. So in Thomas and Carolyn's case, they can't read or write. However, their son Rufus, you can see that they initially the enumerator marked him off as not being able to read or write, but then later on crossed it out. So Rufus can read and write, but his parents can't. So I'm going to say can't read or write. Personal estate value, none was given on this particular census document. Other details, and then for other details, that could be anything. For instance, you could remark that they appear to have somebody boarding in the house, or maybe it's a relative, not sure. Boarder or relative Julia Williams. And then you could go through and then you could add more information. So go through and type in the information or paste it in. And then once you have it, make sure that you save it. So to save it, you can just go to Adobe Acrobat at the very top, and there's an option to save it here, or you can use the keyboard shortcut. Windows, it's Control S. Mac, it's Command S. And keep on going and use this document to basically keep track of the important 1870 censuses that you found online, and then you just want to transcribe it so it's easier to read. You can share it with people, and you can kind of give additional context. And that's why these research notes and additional details are so important, because oftentimes, while the original 1870 census, it's a huge, very valuable document for many family researchers, it doesn't give any ability to add context that you may need to put in there. And having all the information together on one page, in addition to with context and other details about other families, that's really an important thing. So that's my introduction to the 1870 Federal Census Household Tracker. It's a fillable PDF. It's available for free on EasyGenie.org. Again, go to EasyGenie.org. Click on PDF downloads, and then scroll to the bottom of the page, and you can see all of our free PDF downloads. This is Ian. I hope this video helped. Please take a moment to like it and follow me, and I'll see you next time.